Hey, we're back with the B team. We have another super fan on. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Captain Defense of the Baltimore Ravens.
Ravens.
Yeah. So, Captain Defense, like I said, it's awesome to have you on. Let's just get right into it, man. Let's not waste any time. So, just tell us like how this year has been for you, what's been new on your schedule, and just tell me just overall what's been good for the year for you.
For me, well, I've done a couple of events. I do a lot of charity events, weddings, funerals, bar mitzvah, bulletin assembly, and I did the Ravens video before the Steelers game. It was like a hype video, and I was supposed to fly out to California 14th. A casting agency sent me for a commercial, but I don't know what happened. But I'm doing fine, and just supporting the Ravens and trying to uplift the fan base and try to give them some hope. That's my main job, is to give them hope. And I think it's very important. I'm a positive and upbeat person, and I'm not around negative energy, and I don't radiate negative energy. So that's how I go. And I have a manager. I work through a charity that works with disabilities. It's called Caring Communities. So I do a lot of events for them, and people make a donation to that particular charity. So.
Yeah. And it's such an interesting thing, because as we had Fireman Ed on, we had Big Nasty, like we said before we started. It's just so interesting how the super fan community, we see you on Sundays doing your thing,
right?
But you guys do so much off the field. Like, it's incredible what you guys do.
When somebody asks you, a stranger asks you to visit their terminally ill grandmother, and it's pretty powerful. Or a 9-year-old girl who's in a fortunate lawnmower accident, when people reach out to you and for you to tend, and they think you can bring something, to their pain and suffering. And sometimes when I go places, I don't know what I'm going to say, but the words always come to me when I get there.
Yeah.
I just see myself as a person, as a regular person, but obviously people have a tendency to see you as more, which is okay.
Yeah. So I have a question on like this. It's an interesting question, but like obviously, like you said, like Big Nasty, Fireman.
Right.
So, do you keep in contact with them a lot during the year, or like just text back and forth, like talk a little bit of smack if you guys play each other? Like, what's the relationship like with all the other super fans?
Well, it's not really smack talking, but sometimes if I'm gonna go visit a place, I hit somebody. I hit somebody up and say, hey, I'm gonna be in your area, or somebody come up here. So it's not too much of that. And even when we get in Canton, we don't really talk about our team. So I'm not really smack talking. Anyway, I don't start it, but I can pretty well finish it. But not too much of that.
That's awesome. Oh my God, I just had a question. Why am I forgetting now?
Well, how did I become Captain D? Oh.
You did, right?
While we're bringing that up, like, what is the origin story of Captain Defense? Because I did see that you served in the Navy for, what was it, 24 years?
24 years, yes.
Yeah, thank you for your service.
Thank you.
And yeah, just what was the origin story of Captain Defense?
Well, I used to walk around the stadium when the Ravens first got here in '96. I've been to probably 215 out of 530 games they played, 430 games they played. But anyway, I used to walk around the stadium. I had a big defense sign about yay big. So I'm walking around the stadium this one particular game, not really thinking about it. So this girl, she was about 8 years old, and she said, hey, mister, are you like the captain of the defense or something? So I'm not really looking for a name, not really thinking about it. So I go to Walmart and buy some white on letters, and I'm on Captain Defense on the back of a t-shirt. My wife said, who's Captain Defense? I said, me. Well, when did you become Captain Defense? Well, after I finished ironing these letters on, right? So it started that way on a t-shirt. And then people started, this one guy invited me to an event, a boil and oyster roast. And I told my wife, said, some guy invited me to a boil and oyster roast. She said, did you know him? I said, no, he invited. He said, I don't know, maybe he think he's somebody. I guess. So it kind of took off a life of his own from there. Yeah. And then once I started doing it, I said, I got a chance to impact the community.
Definitely.
Yeah, I remember when we were talking to Big Nasty, I know he was really big on just like you said, impacting the community, like just making somebody's day. And like I feel like if there's one thing that's a collective idea of like being a super fan, it's really just being like a role model to the kids. Like I even told Big Nasty, like me and my me and the cameraman, like we're Jets fans, and like we would see Fireman Ed, like, oh man, like that's a role model. So like how is that as a feeling? Like knowing that like people are looking up to you, like, oh, that's the guy who he's the Ravens guy. Like people know him, like they look up to him, like, oh man, like this is awesome. Like the energy you bring. So how does that feel, like knowing that people feel like that towards you?
Well, I am who I am, and humility is important. I just kind of do my thing. I've always been like this, and you radiate energy, right? You radiate positive or negative. When I go through with Ravens, I radiate positive energy. People don't see me black or white or whatever. They just see me as Captain D. So those 4 hours, I don't care what your political vaccine, non-vax, pro-abortion, they just see me as Captain D, right? And so when I do that, they feel, well, he represents us. And I'm a positive, upbeat person because people don't hand their babies to anybody, right? I've held infants. I've been to bar mitzvahs. I've spoken at bar mitzvahs, Captain D. I even did a renewing of a vow ceremony.
That's awesome.
I was guest speaker at a homeschool graduation. What would happen is, I've never done that before, so I had a speech for seniors. What would happen is, the whole class, they had first graders and kindergartens. I was telling them about leaving home, and I'm like, well, wait a minute, listen. Oh no, the whole school's graduating, so I had to change my speech around. Tell the first graders and middle schools, I don't leave home. But yeah, it's kind of, I kind of do my own thing. I don't really think about it. I think I've always been a role model all my life, so it's nothing I have to think about. I carry my way in a certain way, and I just kind of do that. And I know people see me as a role model, which is very important because they say I represent the Raven. So whenever I travel on the road, they see that's a Raven fan, and that's why I feel I represent the fans, not the players, but I represent the Ravens fan, and that's pretty cool that people think you somehow important, but I don't think myself as a VIP. I always feel comfortable when they say, well, you can sit in a VIP place. I don't need to do that, but I realize people see you there. I just want to sit with everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
That's
just
why I said
like be one like as a part of the team. Yeah, right. I get that.
That's why I sit in the top deck of the stadium, because I tell the people up there, I pay my tickets just like you, and they see me as a blue collar guy, just like them. Once fans think you somehow better or different, and when you lose it, so they see me. I say, look, but I'm on a payment plan for my tickets just like you. I do, I pay for my tickets up in the upper deck, just like you. I'm not a club level person. So it's very important for the fans to see me that I represent them, not so much the players and not so much the team, but I'm a fan's fan. I like it like that.
No, I like that. And going along with, we're all fans.
Right.
I'm a Cowboys fan, they're Jets
Right.
fans, and we all have that like one moment or memory of our team that's like that memory. Right. What was that? What's that for you in the Ravens?
We was playing the Jacksonville Jaguars. I don't know when it was. I don't know, 2000. But we were down I think by 21 points in the third quarter. And so I'm walking around the stadium, and this kid said to me, he said, Captain D, you think we're going to win? I said, well, of course we're going to win. And his father said, well, Captain D knows what he's talking about. Well, we came back and won the game, right? I went back there. He said, I see. Captain D knows what he's talking about. I walked right back to that kid. See, son, I told you Captain D knows what he's talking about. We had no chance of winning that game, but we came back, I think, like 21 points against Jacksonville and won the game. And he said, yes, son, Captain D knows what he's talking about.
Oh, my gosh.
That was pretty good. And then touching the Super Bowl trophy. So,
oh, my gosh.
Yeah, you can't beat that at all.
No, there's no greater feeling than touching the Super Bowl trophy.
So I'm assuming that obviously do you go to every single stadium or just the home stadiums?
Well, I go to every Raven, but every now and then I make, 2 or 3 trips around depends on where we're going at. Some stadiums are different. I've been to Pittsburgh, I've been to Minnesota, I've been to Buffalo, I've been to Jacksonville, I've been to San Diego, I've been to Seattle. Mm-hmm. So so when you go to these things, I'm pretty thick-skinned, right? Because you're going to take heat especially Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh.
That's what I was going to ask. Yep. So how's that environment in Pittsburgh? Because
because when you have Captain Dee-Fense on the back of you, people are going to call you. They already know your name, right? So they kind of take it. I'm like this. You can say what you want. As long as you don't really put your hands on me. But I'm pretty thick-skinned. If you're not thick-skinned, then you shoot at being it. But most states, I've never really had enough problem. Some guy threatened to kick my behind in Buffalo. I told him, well, that wasn't going to happen. But anyway, So it's pretty good when I go to state. I haven't had any problems. You know, I went to Miami a couple of times, but you know, I really haven't any problems when I went to stadium because I sit in my seat and I root for my team. I'm not a trash talker. I'm not a drinker, so I'm like, yeah, I root for my team. So I don't. So yeah, I always figure when I go to stadium, I'm a guest in your house, and so I act like I'm a guest, right? I root for my team. I don't need to talk trash. But win or lose, I don't really. It's just not my nature. But you know, I feel pretty good when I go to visit the stadium. In fact, I enjoy it pretty well.
So I'm going to assume that Philly Eagles fans aren't necessarily the people you like to watch a game with, which I agree with you. I've been to some games where I was a little kid and I have people behind me. I was probably like 10, 12, somewhere in there. And I have people behind me when I stand up in my Terrell Owens jersey yelling down to me to like get out the stadium. I'm looking around like, what did I do wrong? I'm just cheering for my team.
Well, Philly's not bad because Philly's not a rivalry.
Yeah,
right?
true.
I've been a Philly. It's the Steelers. One thing about the Steelers fan between us and Ravens, there's a mutual respect. They don't like us. We don't like us. They used to come in and hang a banner that says, "Welcome to Ravens country, welcome to Steeler country." That's the most disrespect. I don't go. You're not coming to this stadium hanging this is Steeler country. That's not going to happen. So I grabbed the sign and I threw it up. I was look, buddy, you're not hanging that banner in this stadium, right? So it's kind of a mutual respect. You know, we go up and they razz us, but it's a pretty good ride with the Steelers. You know, they kind of hate us and we kind of hate them. But what's new is the Cincinnati Bengals are new to the scene. What they said, I only saw on Twitter, they said, well, the Ravens play dirty. I said, look, buddy, welcome to AFC North football. I realize you're not used to winning, but this is when the Steelers and Ravens play. This is what's going on. They do it to us, we do it to them. But yeah, I saw some guy on social media, the Bengals said, the Ravens play dirty. This is AFC North football. You want to play easy football, play to the NFC South or AFC South. But this is AFC North football. We got outdoor stadium. We got no dome stadium. We got no 90-degree temperature. But so Cincinnati's kind of new to the party. So
yep, hard-nosed stadium, power football. That's all the AFC North was, man. Just
right. And so that's but Cincinnati's kind of new to the party. So
yeah, I think
which I'm happy for.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are, especially since now they're a powerhouse. But I actually want to dive into the season a little bit. So obviously, you guys have had Lamar's been injured a lot, and Bateman's been out. Mark Andrews, you've had a quarterback carousel. So
right.
What do you? My one question is, what do you think's going to happen with Lamar? Because I know there's speculation saying he's going to hit the market. They're going to franchise him. Like they just paid Roquan Smith a pretty big contract. So are you a little nervous that Lamar might hit the free agency market?
Well, I think that the reason why they sent Roquan to give us the franchise, I think they're going to franchise Lamar, and I think it's what, 50 million, I think, something like that.
Yeah, so
I think on the franchise, but the only thing concerned, his injury history, right? A couple of times he was in the pocket, he wasn't really scrambling, but that's the only thing. But I think this year we're going to franchise him, especially after we signed Roquan, and I guess tomorrow we'll find out if he's going to be around for Cincinnati. But since Lamar went down, we was averaging 28 points. Now we're averaging roughly 14 points a game. And the defense is only giving up 14 points.
Yeah.
But the offense can't help them. But that's what I think is happening. I think we're going to do the franchise tag for Lamar. But I don't think Lamar is coming back if Greg Roman is here.
Really?
Right. Lamar is not coming back. If you're not coming to a run first offense. Roman has not had a passing offense above 21. So if you Devontae Adams, like Stephon Diggs, I read he had 91 receptions. He wouldn't have 91 receptions here. So what happened is, for Lamar attract weapons, Roman can't be here. Right? That's what makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, we second in rushing, and we near the bottom in passing. So
another guy like J.K. Dobbins, man, like he has like a lot of potential, dude. Like Gus Edwards, like those are two solid backs. I mean, it's just J.K. with his health. I mean, he's really just been on and off with his knee. But dude, he could be a good player. It's just he's got to stay healthy. I mean, that's because, like you said, they're a really run-heavy offense.
Run-heavy offense.
Yep.
But what happened is, like I said, the key is, we drafted Rashad Bateman, and he's out. We had Duvernay. They was trying to use him in a Debo scheme, and he got injured. And so now we got DeMarcus and Sammy Watkins, and last year we had Dez Bryant. So if you're over 35, we had Deshaun Jackson. So if you're over 35, come to the Ravens, right? We have no deep passing game. Our passes are 40 yards. So, you know, if Roman here, if we get a new innovative OC, we can open things up and we can use Andrews. But I think against Cincinnati, we'll be tight end heavy against Cincinnati. But yes, we need to get a number one. I saw DeAndre Hopkins, but we can't afford. He got a high cap number, and I don't think he. Well, would you come here? You're elite wide receiver. Would you come here?
I wonder what goes through their heads. I mean, when they see Baltimore, though, because like you said, obviously run heavy offense, but like they have Lamar, man. Like Lamar's elite. So I wonder if these receivers they think, I mean, hey, maybe I can give Lamar a shot at another weapon, and maybe we can actually expand the offense rather than just ground and pound. But like you said, Greg Roman's probably stuck to his ways where he's got to run. He's got to establish the run.
We second in rushing. That's about take.
But that's a good thing at least. But
and 26 in passing. Would you come here if you were DeAndre Hopkins, or you're a rookie coming off your first contract? I want to go somewhere where I can get my numbers up. You're not coming here. Mark Andrews is out. Big
really?
Yeah, he's probably our leading receiver, and likely the guy from Coastal Carolina, he stepped up, and then we had another rookie that just steps up. So I think, you know, Cincinnati, we're going to be heavy with the tight ends because likely can play wide receiver, I think. But sometimes they line them up. But yes, that's until we get a new OC, they're not coming here, and that's the problem. We spend money on defense and less on offense.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, anything?
No, I was just bouncing off that. It's just it's crazy how we're all sitting here talking about how the Ravens were bad at this, they need to do this. And there's still a playoff team that has a good, like they can beat the Bengals. It's not like they're a team that just got in and they're probably going to get, like they can beat the Bengals if they play well. So it's just crazy how like that happens in the NFL, which is why I love it. Because you could have teams that, like I'm a Cowboys fan. We rip on our players half the season. Right. We get to the playoffs and it's like, all right, we're going to the Super Bowl. And we haven't won a playoff game in how long?
Well, we played the Bengals, and we had an undrafted free. He turned the ball over 3 times. The Bengals didn't actually blow. We had them on the ropes in the second half. We practically shut them down in the second half. But, you know, you can't turn the ball over 3 times. And did you see the game when Sammy Watkins fumbled the ball?
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, we kept it close against Cincinnati. Our defense is playing lights out. I mean, we only give them 18.5. But the point is, we're only scoring 14 points. The defense got no room for error. But, you know, I think if Hundley's back, he's not Lamar, but it'd give us better chance.
Yeah.
I agree with that. I honestly think Huntley's not bad. I was saying it last year, like as a backup quarterback, I mean, I feel like he has the same exact play style as Lamar. I mean, obviously it's a little tough now because of the receivers and Bateman's not there. Right. Obviously Duvernay was hurt, but he does all right. But do you know if Lamar is actually going to be available once the playoffs start, or is he still going to be sidelined?
Well, I don't think he's going to play because I read. I'll be shocked if he can play because, you know, sometimes you read Hobbs' body language. You know, if you watch a news conference of your coach, sometimes you can pick up vibe. I don't get a good vibe that he's going to play against Cincinnati. I think Hundley's going to be the start. Hundley gives us better chance against Brown, but to beat Cincinnati with Hundley, the defense is going to have to
bowl
away. But I don't think Lamar. I'll be shocked if Lamar is playing against Cincinnati.
So what would your I'm curious to see, like, who do you think would be like the contender out of the AFC and the contender out of the NFC? Who do you got for maybe a sleeper team or someone just gonna?
I think it's coming out of the AFC. I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be Buffalo.
Buffalo, there it is.
But what were you thinking?
Kansas City for me. I think they're just. People are sleeping on them a little bit. I think people are kind of forgetting that Kansas City's still Kansas City. So I think they come out of the AFC East. And then for the NFC, I want to hear yours first because I have one that's probably way out of left field. So I'm curious.
It's not going to be Minnesota. Minnesota's just preseason dog. Kind of like Indianapolis Colts. Everybody pick up their preseason.
Kirk can't play in prime time.
Yeah.
No, he can't.
He plays prime time round 1, by the way. 4 o'clock.
Let me see. It's not going to be Tampa.
Not going to be Tampa. Okay.
No, it's not going to be Tampa. I guess
It's tough.
is Jalen is the Philly quarterback 100%?
I don't know if he's 100%, but he's he's definitely going to play.
Yeah.
I go with Philly. How about you? Who's you have?
I got the Niners. And
Okay.
not even
That's
because
okay.
of Brock Purdy, but I think that defense best in the league, and
Right.
I think they're on a mission. I see a rematch in the Super Bowl, 100%.
So you think the light's not going to be too big for Purdy? You think?
I don't think so, because I think, one, the offensive line will be fine, and they'll keep blocking for him like they have been. And two, they got McCaff who can run the ball. They can establish the run. The Debo's there as well. I think he's healthy and he's back. But I think one sleeper team for me, I love the Jags. I've loved them for weeks, but I don't think they make it all the way. I think the Chargers are probably my one sleeper team. That's all I got on that.
Well, you know, to make it to the Super Bowl, you got to have a little luck, right? You got to have one or two plays that go the way. But you know, Jaguar, if Jaguar's not this year, they're gonna be a force next year. It's not this year.
Yes.
And sometimes you gotta, you know, kind of like TCU yesterday, you know, we're playing national championship. It's a whole different ball game. So sometimes you get a taste of, you know what to expect. But yeah, Jackson is a pretty good team, and I think Trevor Lawrence is the guy, and I think Doug Peterson is the coach. And I think if we don't hear from them this year, they'll be definitely for next year. Jaguars team, there's no guarantee win in Jacksonville no more like it used to be.
No.
You know.
What do you think about the Jets? Just give me what you think about Zach Wilson and the Jets, please. I need to hear from a different fan.
Let me see.
Because we could have had Trevor Lawrence, and we pretty much just did what the Houston Texans just did. So seeing that, it's like giving me flashbacks of when we beat the Rams with Sam Darnold and Adam Gase. So I'm curious to see what your thoughts are on the Jets. Why not?
My personal opinion, I think Zach would have been better off setting this year. That's just my personal opinion. I don't think he was ready. He played one season? How many seasons he played in college?
I think it was two.
I think he played
two
in college. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he'd been better off setting for 1 year. And he didn't have it. I don't think y'all have dynamic receiving weapons with the Jets. I don't think dynamic. Well, I mean, I think you guys can run the ball. You guys obviously got a defense, but I think Zach would have been better off setting for a year. And
that's a good point.
Support. That's just my personal opinion. Some people are ready to start right away, and some aren't. Some people can, and you know, New York is a high pressure. You know, you can't be soft playing in the Jets. You know, you can play in some other city, Seattle, but you can't. You got to be ready to go when you play the Jets, because you know the national media. You know, you got 10 times, but and if you're not thick skinned, you better not go to New York.
Agreed.
Right. If you take everything personal, that's true, right?
100%. I agree.
If you're soft skinned, you take everything personal, then you're not going to survive in New York. But I think he learned a valuable lesson. I think he'll probably be ready to start next year. I think he's saying the right things. I mean, he messed up at that news conference, but I think he learned.
Yeah, he did. He right about that.
Yeah, he kind of messed up in that news conference, but I think he'd be better. I think he's got a chance to be a pretty good quarterback. Just got to work with him and kind of work on his psyche and give him he bought the offensive lineman bikes or something.
Yeah, line.
I don't understand but anyway, somebody must have told him that. But I guess he's taking small steps in the right way. But I think next year, he said he's going to work out and he'd be ready to go. And he said he's ready to challenge a veteran or whatever. Something.
Yeah, he already said that.
Well, we'll see. But I think he can. I think he's an NFL quarterback. Now, whether he's in the Burrows or Justin Herbert is another story. But I think he's a starter in the NFL. I think.
Interesting.
There you go. That should make you feel better.
Right. I think he can. Right. I think he learned valuable.
No comment.
Well, yeah. What, you don't think? Are you not a Zach Wilson believer? I guess.
Oh no. I like you said, it takes, you got to have some tough skin to take in New York, and I don't think he's got it. No way. Right. I think he's already gotten chewed alive. I don't think there's any point of return. But for me, I want Derek Carr. I mean, obviously, if Lamar hits the market, give me him. Oh yeah, 100%. But if you get a Derek Carr, a guy who's proven, and he might not have been the best quarterback, but the dude has never had a defense. That's the thing. He's never had someone or a defense to just support him.
Right.
But I think he would I wouldn't say flourish, but I think he'd be serviceable. I think he'd be a lot better than a lot of quarterbacks that we've had.
Well, I think Zach. I mean, I think Derek Carr is a good quarterback, but he's not at the next level. He's good quarterback, and he got a good defense. But like I was telling friends about Dak Prescott, he got a great defense, but the defense ain't throwing interceptions. You are.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And some of the interceptions we're seeing from Dak are just horrendous. So he had two. I think he had two last game that you just look at it and you're like what are you even looking at? Just at least just throw it into the dirt. You're just lofting it up for anyone to catch it.
Well, some players, like, that's what makes play that. Joe Burrow knows how to look and throw, know how to make the safety take two. All you need the safety to do is take 2 steps and you got him, right? That's all you need to do. Just make them go that way. Some quarterbacks can do that naturally. There's a couple of passes Dak threw. He practically stared the guy down.
Yeah.
Right? He practically stared him down. So, you know, maybe he's going through a bad spell, but Jerry Jones won't be happy if they go one and done.
No, oh my gosh, no one will be happy. This team's too good to go one and done. But it's Tom Brady and the Bucs, so we all know what Tom Brady does in the playoffs.
Well, speaking about quarterbacks, some guy put on Twitter about, Kyler Murray wants to pick the next coach. I says, well, wait a minute. If he signed a contract that says he got to do 4 hours of studying, a clause in his contract that he signed, and somebody felt the need for him to sign, like, well, what does he have to say to the new coach? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Some stuff is, you signed the clause,
Yeah.
and somebody felt the need to put in your contract, you need to study 4 hours a day. I mean, who does that?
Right.
Yeah.
I feel like we've never heard that before.
Never.
If somebody say he wants to input to pick the next coach, but that's a whole nother story. But
yeah,
I'm not a Kyler Murray fan. But
yeah, well, you got anything?
No, I'm good. I mean, we're gonna be cheering for the Ravens this weekend for you.
Yeah, I am too.
Hopefully, they can pull through, get to the next round, take out the Bengals. It'd be nice. It'd be nice for everybody.
It would.
I tell people my primary job is get the fans hope. Right.
Yep.
The beginning of the season. See, negativity is easy. Right. Like, I have a Facebook page. I have no nonsense on my page. I have no personal attack. You like apples, I like oranges. I'm not an idiot. And my mother told me something a long time ago, which I always do. Criticize the performance, not the performer. And I always do that. Right. And I do that. But yeah, well, thanks for cheering for us. And we'll see what happens. Tomorrow we'll know for sure if Lamar is going better. I don't think he's going to be there, but we're okay. We'll roll the dice and we'll see what happens. And we'll show up in Cincinnati because we don't run from nobody.
Yeah. No. Well, Captain Defense, it's been awesome. Just not even like, I feel, because with Big Nasty, he got into like a lot of the things he did, but like, it's nice to hear us and Big Nasty didn't really get into like the season and like football and like the team and what like the actual fan thinks of it. So it was nice to actually get some like feedback on the Ravens, because we haven't really talked about them that much. So,
well, what happened is, fans get into this. I said, look, I learned a long time ago when I first started. I'm Captain D. I'm a super fan. I got to know who number 68 is. I got to know who we trade for. Some people just dressed up. I'm a former, because when I go place, I don't know who going to put it in. Like I tell people, I'm smart enough. I could talk a little bit about 31 other teams. I know just enough. I can talk about the Ravens, because you don't know who'll put a microphone. And I'm a super fan, so I know a little bit about San Francisco. I know a little bit about Seattle, because you never know who will put a microphone in your face. Yeah. And Ravens fan expect, hey, Captain D, who do you pick up on free agents? How much would we get for him? Rocon was $100 million, 45 guaranteed, and 60 million full. They expect me to know, but some fans dress up and do, but it's more than that. And when the Ravens lose 37-0, I go on my page and point out at the end, fans want hope. I said, look, I'm glad we lost these 4 games beginning of, those leads we gave up. I said, it's better to lose them at the beginning of the season than the end. At the end, fans want a little hope. I say what I feel. Too many people beat them up, but fans just want a little hope. And at the end, I said, hey, I'm glad it's happened at the beginning of the season. And that's just, I think my job is to give the fans a little hope. But be truthful and be honest. Don't sugarcoat it. But at the end, they want a little hope, because negativity is easy.
Yep. As a Jets fan, I know exactly what you're talking about.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean, man. It's been 18 years, especially with Brady in the league, man. It's been 18 years.
But
so.
on my Facebook page, 2 things I don't have is cursing. I don't have personal attacks. And what happened is, people follow what you put.
Yeah.
I don't do it. They don't. If you don't like my purple furniture, don't come into my house. But what happens? People police themselves. They say, you know, Captain D not having that. Man, you like apples, I like oranges. I'm not an idiot because I like oranges. And what happens is people use all sorts of language on other pages, but when they come on my page, I'm just not having it. You're not calling some woman an idiot or somebody stupid. And people police themselves. And I have a pretty clean, I'm not chasing followers. I tell people, I'd rather have 4 quarters than 100 pennies. I got quarters on my page. I'm not chasing numbers. Because on my deathbed, I'm surely not going to say, oh man, wish you had 10,000 more followers. you know what I mean? I just want a nice page where your daughter, your son can come to my page and express their opinion. You know, some people don't like Greg Roman, some people don't, but you're not calling a 13-year-old dumb on my page because you like Greg Roman. That's just not going to happen. And I have a pretty enough influence, but I can call anybody out, and I'm not really worried about it. I say, hey, you're not calling a 13-year-old idiot because she like Greg Roman. Me and her go back and forth. I don't like Greg Roman, but you're not making personal attacks. And I just like being that way. But negativity is so much easier. And my response to negativity, this is my one-word response. They said, Captain D, you an idiot. You knew enough about the Ravens. My response is, okay, that shuts the conversation down. I'm not putting 50 comments to tell you how much I know about the Ravens. So the guy said, you don't know about the Ravens. I said, well, okay. And they said, that's it. Okay. So, and I tell people all the time, okay is a response to personal attacks. And people know you can say what you want. As long as we're going back and forth, when the personal attack stops, the conversation.
I like that.
I'm
going to start using that.
Huh?
I'm going to start using that, I think.
I mean, because sometimes you find yourself explaining to people you don't even know. Some guy in San Diego on his laptop talking about the Jets, and you spending 15 minutes explaining to the guy, he just turning your screw, getting you upset, know nothing about the Jets.
Yeah, it's getting worked up.
Yeah.
And you put your energy. Some guy in the pajamas turning your screw in San Diego on a laptop, and you get upset, right?
Yeah, no, yeah, right.
Like I would debate you all day, but when the personal attack starts, the conversation then I just okay.
Yeah, like you know nothing about me. Like we're talking football, man. We're not coming at each other. Like it's not that deep.
Right, but some people want to. You look on, he got 4 followers, and he got you upset, and your blood pressure up, and you might say something, right? He got nothing to lose. He got 15 followers. You got everything to lose, and you get frustrated, and then you say something you don't want to, and the guy got, got 10 followers. Yeah. You make people relevant in your life, right? I'm not making some guy in San Diego relevant on social media. He said, "You're an idiot." I said, "Okay," and it ends the conversation.
Yeah, well.
You ought to try that. Try that sometime.
I'm going to.
When it gets personal, you go back and forth. When it gets personal, say, okay, thank you very much, and you have a good day. That's just what I do.
We'll use that for the B team account.
No, absolutely. We're close to Philadelphia, so I get that a lot from Eagles fans. So I'll be using that probably for the next 2-3 weeks.
Right. I mean, and what happens, people on my social media figure that out. As long as you talk to Captain D, he'll talk to you all day. As long as it's personal. And they'll pick the vibe on social media. I tweet NFL Live every day. And sometimes people, the reason why I like Laura Rutledge likes my tweets because I don't sit on it. Oh, Laura, you look hot in that red dress. I never say nothing like that. No, but people, because people say, Captain,
they'll say it, yeah.
People say, why is she like, because I keep it straight about football. Well, I was on Instagram enough. I keep it. If I ask, I say, hey, NFL Live wasn't on today. What happened? She'll tweet me back. Captain D, we on ESPN too, because I keep it straight. And people I deal with, I keep it professional, right? I have no Lori look great, a bunch of flames. That's just not me. And so she got to be careful whose tweets she like. And I'm well aware of that. And the guy said, well, because she knows me well enough that I tweet the show almost every day. She knows I'm a professional, so she's comfortable. I can because Captain D has no nonsense on his page, so I pretty well can like and respond to what he says because she pretty well know me, and I'm not, I keep it straight. Same with main accounts, I keep it straight professional about football. But so many people don't get it. They chasing ratings and they chasing stuff. But that's not me. But it's been great talking to you guys.
Absolutely. Yeah. And it's perfect time. We have like 2 minutes left. So just want to say, like, personally, like, great having you on. And like, it's nice to like actually get like the backstory behind like a fan and like even like just a super fan, but like also how to like really monitor like your figure, you know what I mean? Even just like you said, all the personal attacks and like all like, I feel like you're kind of under a microscope in a way because
Right.
of all the media and stuff.
Mhm.
But I thank you for coming on. It's been great.
Yeah.
It's an honor.
It's my pleasure, and I really appreciate you guys. Where can I tag? How can I tag your thing on my Instagram, and I can put on my Twitter account?
Oh, we'll get in touch with you. I'll
Send
send
me
you
a
some
link.
stuff tonight after we're all done with this.
Okay, I appreciate it.
No problem. Thank
All right,
you.
Cool. Well, thanks
Okay,
again, Captain. You've been great.
JETES, whatever. I don't know.
Maybe next year. Who knows?
Yeah. When are you guys drafting that anyway?
10, 13? 13.
Okay. Well, I
Yeah.
appreciate you guys, and if I can do something for you, let me know.
Absolutely,
Awesome.
man. Thanks
Thank
a
you.
lot.
Okay, my pleasure.
Awesome.
Shit.
Good start.
All right. Well, we just had Captain Dee-Fense on. It's funny how that's the first word we said because he doesn't like cursing. So Captain Dee-Fense, I'm sorry. Like I should that.
What? You just said it again?
No, I was saying I shouldn't have said that.
You should not have
But
said that.
regardless, that interview was very good. I mean, he's an awesome guy. Big Ravens fan, obviously.
He knows a lot about the Ravens, obviously. We got more into football talk. If you listen to the Big Nasty, it was more so the background of a super fan and what he does and what it means to like just the fan base and himself and all the extra stuff that comes with being a super fan. Hall of Fame, going to Canton. But we actually got into football with him, and especially on the Ravens. So interesting to hear. Obviously, I had to ask him what his thoughts on the Jets were. So yeah, it really got deep. So
Playoffs.
We're
here.
Playoffs. We are here.
Well, one of us are here.
One of y'all, yeah. You.
Guys, listen, they might still add the 8 seed.
That's gone. It's over. They gave us like a sliver of hope, like a skosh of hope, just because we thought it was funny. But I'm glad we lost.
Yeah.
Joe Flacco.
I mean, that was one of the worst games of football ever.
I did not watch a single snap because I was
Dolphins.
just very angry. Yeah, I know.
No, they covered the spread.
The Dolphins did cover the spread.
-3.5.
You know who didn't cover the spread? The Arizona Cardinals.
No, they didn't. They failed J.J. Watt that
They
time.
failed J.J. Watt, and they failed my parlay for $650.
Yeah, well, so
but
did
it's
the
okay.
Cowboys.
Yeah, so we're all there.
Well,
Go ahead.
before we get
Let's do
into it, just like the Bills had a week,
Yeah,
and then they just simply ran 2 kickoffs back
yeah.
and won against Patriots and eliminated them.
Good for them.
Yeah.
Good for them. Good for DeMar Hamlin.
I'm proud of them.
Back home and was watching at home. So, miracle.
Yeah.
Praise be to God. Awesome. Great news. So, they're playing for him now. So
No,
it's
absolutely.
going to be interesting.
And interesting little tidbit with them is if they have to play the Chiefs, it's at a neutral location.
Yep.
Yeah, so...
Where would that neutral location be? My guess, Chicago.
See, I saw everyone saying that.
Really?
But why would we
That's
go
right
to
off the top of my head.
Chicago? Like, it's the worst field in the NFL.
Exactly. They're going to go
Yo,
in the
you just
cold.
want them all to get injured.
No, they're gonna go in the cold.
You
It's
just
gonna be
want Patrick-
freezing cold, and they're gonna go at it.
No,
Are they gonna give
no.
Patrick a dome? Is it Indianapolis? Is that gonna be it?
I mean, I would be so surprised if the Bills gave him dome.
Okay, wait, but this might be the truth. I think players would rather play on grass than turf.
Yeah.
100%.
Let's go to Lambeau.
Go to Lambeau.
Yeah.
So what's the difference between Lambeau and Chicago?
Well, Lambeau's a good field.
And Chicago.
Have you seen Chicago?
Okay, wait, no. You are right. Yes, it is a very beat up field because I remember looking at the 50-yard line. So
It looks like
yep, you're
fairways at Bethlehem Golf Club.
right. Yeah. Now as I think of it, that is terrible. So yeah, Lambeau would be a good one.
Plus, aren't they losing the rights to that stadium anyways?
Who?
Aren't they going to build their own stadium?
The Bills?
Because I'm pretty sure the city owns that stadium.
I wouldn't be shocked.
Yeah, so I think they're going to... Wait, did you say the Bills or Bears?
I said the Bills.
Oh, no, not the Bills. The Bills are chilling.
Yeah.
The Bears,
so,
though.
What?
Bears don't.
Bears. Yeah, speaking of the Bears, and then we'll touch on the Cowboys. That's probably what you want to talk about, right?
For a little.
Okay. How about Houston winning and losing out of the first round pick or the first overall pick?
I mean, does it really matter? Because the Bears aren't going to take Bryce Young anyways.
They
No.
might trade out though.
Who, the Bears?
I think the
could
Bears
see that happening.
100% trade out. I think that is the smart move of the Bears.
Today I was seeing reports that Indy will be aggressive for the quarterback they want. They could be going after Bryce Young, trying to trade up to the first overall pick.
If they go to the first overall pick and take Will Levis, I mean, I hope that they have a terrible future. Because how do you not take Bryce Young? He's the only quarterback in college football that goes up to the line, acts like a quarterback in the NFL, changes plays on the fly, and actually has success.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, Houston, you just have to just do it. I mean, just trade up. You screwed up, but then just waste more ammo at that point.
Honestly, I don't even blame Houston. Like, the Colts were so bad at trying to win a football game. It was almost like they were trying to lose. They tanked better than the Texans were tanking that day.
I don't. Oh, my bad.
No, you're good.
But,
They're only new shoes.
Really? Oh, those things are clean.
Ciao.
I just stepped on Muller's new white kick, and since it's a white kick and must be clean.
Yeah, it's all right.
I always struggled having nice shiny white shoes.
Yeah,
Not fun.
I don't think I'm going to be able to do it with these. Speaking of my shoes, I've had a serious toe injury the last couple of weeks. Yeah, and today it got real bad.
Really? That's my one shoe here. It sucks. My right foot.
My big toe on my left foot is so fucked up.
So when you kick a soccer ball, you do not kick it with your toes. You kick it with the top part.
Yeah.
So when you're going to curve a soccer ball, when you're doing a little curve shot, do you kick it right over here near the little bone here?
Yeah.
But you're not kicking it on top here. You're using mostly this.
Yeah.
That's really tough, man.
No,
it's very hard to kick a soccer ball, I will say.
Watching other people that don't play soccer try to play soccer is the funniest thing. But everyone calls us a bunch of wuss bags. Y'all can't even play our sport.
Listen, it is. I actually played it once. I showed up to a Liberty.
Yes,
little,
you did.
Yes,
you
I did, and I actually did great. And he immediately came. Who was? What's his name? What's the coach? Jason came right up to me. He goes, "Oh, have you ever thought about playing goalie?" And I was like, "Oh, I don't know, man. I just play FIFA. I just enjoy it." So
I actually bought Zlatan the other day.
I actually got Zlatan for 100K. Saved up for him.
Falcao.
Didn't use it. And Falcao, dude, 89 heading. Stop. 89 heading.
Flyer.
Yeah. Speaking of FIFA. The greatest, I would say the greatest sports game in the world, FIFA. The greatest Ultimate Team in the world, FIFA. MLB is up there, though. I don't know if you've ever played Ultimate Team for MLB.
In years.
What an Ultimate Team.
Yeah. Ever since I hit puberty, I stopped playing MLB.
Ouch.
Yeah. Haven't even touched the game.
Yeah,
haven't looked at it. The last MLB game I played was probably the Bigs.
Wow.
Do you remember that one?
Yeah, I remember that.
That was a crazy one.
Yeah, but yeah, shit. Maybe I should have pursued a career in soccer. I was doing great. I remember I cookied Marcus Gachango. He was right at the top of the pitch, and I cookied him, and then I took the ball and I cleared it.
What the hell's a cookie?
You know, like in basketball, you're like cookies, and you steal the ball, and then you just go down the court and you score a layup. Come on, bro, you play basketball, you know that term.
I'm sorry. Have you?
No.
Well, guys, you didn't play basketball. You played basketball.
Never in my life have I stolen a ball and run the other way and be like, cookies.
Okay, well, you probably have not. You're probably like, steal!
Yes, because what is it? It's a steal.
Well, you know how basketball players are. When they shoot, they're like, butter or chicken!
Oh, I used to blow kisses.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So when guards used to steal, they'd be like, cookies! So
all right,
I did that to Marcus Gachango. I kicked the ball. I cleared it probably about 15 yards. Dude, I was hype.
How did we get to this point?
I don't know. I don't know, but listen, if I was actually a runner and I enjoyed running, soccer might have been like a Giorgio Chiellini type of guy, or maybe a Barzagli, or maybe a Vincent Kompany. I actually saw a video on Vincent Kompany.
Should we run in like a 5K? Or a 3?
Hell no!
No. Hear me out.
You guys can run in a 5K.
This would be so
funny. Are you kidding me?
This would be so funny.
Dude, I would throw up.
No, like we signed up for a 5K.
Miles,
yeah, it's 3 miles. We'll be good. You can
walk
it.
Okay, I could do. I could do that.
And it would just more. Like, if 3 people want to film that and like run, like be next to the person as they're running, like we will do that. 100%.
You know what I will do? I will do the bike marathon. I'm always up for that in NYC. That would be
a marathon.
Awesome.
Dude, I've rode my bike 60, 70 miles. A marathon's nothing.
You're a big biker now, aren't you?
So
it's
easy.
Next year, this year I'm doing a century. It's 100 miles.
100 miles. Wow. So have you been going pretty often?
Not in the winter. I was going with uni in
Sammy, right?
In like October, like around the end of the summer, and we were doing pretty good.
Timeout. When is that happening?
Weekends.
No. Like, when is the race?
No, I'm not going to do an organized race. I just do.
You're just going to do it.
Yeah.
Just
we are. I want to see this happen.
You said
100 miles, dude.
No, absolutely.
I did. When I went to, did you go to Jim Thorpe to do that too? To go mountain biking?
Northampton, past Jim Thorpe, like all the way up into like the Lehigh Gorge.
Oh my goodness!
To go ride.
That's just like That's never crossed my mind as something I would want to do. But
when you do
I
it,
want to film you do it.
Yeah.
You're just so in the zone though. Like you really don't even like care at that point. When I remember
an e-bike, Muller. You can do an e-bike.
No. Can I get one?
the skinny wheels.
Get one of those little cars. You know, like the kids do, and we can supercharge it so it goes fast. And I'll just be next to them.
Yeah, like a little skateboarding video with the fisheye. Yeah.
Yes.
Dude, I went up to Jim Thorpe and me, like Ponyo, Grady, we rode, I kid you not, probably like 40 miles total. I was not tired whatsoever, but it was so fun, dude. We found this little lagoon, found a little cliff. Grady jumped in first. Wasn't shallow, dude. We were just jumping off the cliff. Yeah. Mad fun. Love biking. If you're in the valley and you want to go biking somewhere, take the trip up to Jim Thorpe. The city is haunted, by the way. It's haunted. Yep. Don't go through the city.
Definitely.
But just go on a bike ride. It's not haunted over there. Just don't go in Jim Thorpe. It's
don't go
really
in it. Go
freaking
next
creepy.
To it. Next to it.
Yeah, don't go eat food there because it's garbage. Oh. Like Miller's Ale House, that place sucks.
Gotcha.
I don't know, really random. But okay, we're getting way off topic.
Regardless, Bethlehem is going to do a 3K or some short run on 4th of July, and I think we should do it, but also chug a beer every mile.
I'll do it. Let's throw up.
Let's
go throw up.
I'll do it.
Don't they have like bacon runs too?
Yes, they do.
Oh my god.
Muller's not going to throw up because he can run like fucking...
He'll probably beat me on one leg than me just running normally. Probably sprinting.
No, at that point it's not even worth it. One leg?
Who were we supposed to race last year? Zacharias?
Oh, Zacharias.
Is he still a follower of the show?
Yeah, he DM'd us probably like 2 months ago. I mean...
He don't want the smoke?
Some bitch.
He don't want the smoke? Hey. We just had Captain Dee-Fense on.
That's why I said it softly.
Yeah. I just want to give a quick shout out to see if this dude listens. Jordan Spittle, we freaking miss you, buddy.
Yeah, shout out to him.
One of the OG members of the team. Yep. He cannot be recorded anymore, unfortunately.
Do you ever think about how he joined us for it? He came on the show to be like the stat guy, and like he was what Gassy was for us. Yeah. And then somehow he just one day showed up and just set up the camera and just sat over here with us and
just hopped on.
He didn't converse a ton. Like he basically did exactly what Gassy's doing right now. But he just sat there. Was on camera.
He was on camera, but just sat.
Looking back on it, it is hilarious because he would just be there. But his job was to make sure our camera was good and no one was watching the camera.
Dude, we had just an iPad propped up against the wall.
Not one person was watching the camera. So we easily probably messed up the footage so many times because no one was doing that job.
Dude, it was...
and no one was watching how it was recorded.
You should have seen the setup we had, too. The setup we had was in Muller's basement, and it was literally just packed with storage. And there was just one big poker table in the middle, so we would just have to cram in.
Yeah, I crawled under the table to get in one.
Yeah, he would crawl under a bunch of stuff, all this memorabilia and stuff, but we... that was some good times.
From small beginnings.
We're slowly making our way up.
We have
we recorded. You know what? I didn't send you this. Maybe I did actually. I had a Snapchat story of you on New Year's at the old 333 house.
If you want to listen to a good episode,
maybe we have to push that again.
I'm not gonna lie. I might have been drunk in that episode. So
we sat in our sunroom, which didn't have any heat. The windows were broken, so it was freezing cold. Hungover, just rambling. Microphone in hand, just rambling. God knows what we were talking about.
We had an Eagles fan that was at the house the night before, sleep there, and then be on the pod, but his only job was to hear me just, berate him about how the Eagles were bad. He sat there and said no words for about 20 minutes, and all I did was yell about how the Eagles were bad. I don't know who he was.
Oh, wait. Probably John. That's my guess.
John.
Jordan's buddy John, who came up in a Bryce Hall jersey, who actually he is friends with, so that could be another potential interviewee. So,
right, John, do your thing.
Yeah, do your thing, John. We miss you too, buddy.
All right, let's get back to football.
Yeah, come on, let's go.
All right, Sam Howell is good.
Yo!
That is concerning.
I forgot that he was the third-string quarterback, and I saw him go in, and I was like, oh, wait, this dude went to UNC. I'm pretty sure he's a rook or a second year.
He should have been playing all year. If he played all year, I think Washington wins the division.
That is an interesting, intriguing quarterback to be the starter of the Commanders. I mean, seeing him play, that could be something. They could be in a spot where they sign a veteran guy off a really just crappy deal. Just sign someone just to back him up and just let Sam play. Because they're only going to get better. The Commanders will only get better.
This whole time, I thought they were just screwing Taylor Heineke over. But really, I think they're screwing Sam Howell over by not letting him play a single snap.
I think they were in a really bad position, though, because they paid for Wentz. They wanted him to play, but then they had Heineke.
Right.
But then, can you really even blame Heineke for those performances against those good teams?
Just go, yeah, I know.
That's the thing.
Just go buy Carson Wentz like the nicest gun on the market and send him on a getaway. Like, the dude will be happy. Just make sure his money gets into his account each month or week, however they do it, and he'll be fine. Like, I don't know what the problem is here. This owner's an idiot.
Just buy him a Barrett 50 cal and send him off into the forest.
Send him on to
That's all a man
Rust.
needs. Get him a case of Busch Light. Send him into the forest with a gun. You know, maybe even you know how they stock the rivers on fishing day? Just get a bunch of ducks, throw them into that forest. Make sure he has, he's not going into an empty forest, of course.
And he's just blowing up ducks with a Barrett 50 cal.
Yeah, not getting them, just literally obliterating them.
Tony Soprano would not approve.
Oh, man.
24 years ago, that aired, by the way. Did you see that?
Oh, congrats.
The pilot of The Sopranos.
Yeah.
Congrats.
Legendary.
But, obviously the Commanders beat the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Now, let me hear your theory, because we were talking about that before the episode.
Initially, right when the game ended, my first thought was, CeeDee Lamb should be allowed to punch Dak as hard as he wants in the face. But after further review, I think the Cowboys were smart in playing that game the way they did. Because, yes, they kept the starters in really long, trying to get them to do something. But they went away from what their offense has done all year. There was no end-arounds. There was no movement at the snap. It was a very bland play-calling strategy. And I can only think that in the back of their minds, they're like, and it happened, there's no way the Eagles don't beat the Giants. If Saquon's not playing and Daniel Jones isn't playing, there's no way the Eagles don't beat them. Turns out it was a lot closer than everyone thought it would be. But they did, Eagles won, which, all right, we knew that. Now, Dallas went into the game, basically just played a bland game. Knew it was going to be bland. Didn't even try to spice it up. Granted, we made some mistakes. Turpin had the ball, had literally hit him in the face like he was a 3-year-old. And then our punter did exactly what Skip Bayless always says. Basically determined the outcome of the game when he showed everyone why he only uses his feet to play the game and missed the snap. So, what can you do? That was 14 points right there. We were already down 14 to start the game.
So if they would have won that game, would they still have...
They would be the 5 seed.
And they would have had to play who?
The Bucks.
So they still would have played the Bucks.
Nothing changed. Literally nothing in the NFC changed this week.
Now, I heard an interesting
But they didn't show the Bucks anything.
Yeah, smart. But I heard an interesting point about resting starters when you're ready, clinched and whatnot. Yeah. If you guys watched the Chargers-Broncos game, they had the starters in pretty much the whole game. Mm-hmm. And the reason he said that was because if you sit them, they kind of get out of rhythm and they lose a little bit of chemistry going into the playoffs. Yeah. What do you think about that? Do you think
I agree.
It's a smart concept?
As a player, I think you always want to play. If you take a week off, I know personally, if I take a few days off from training, the next training session I go to, I have to get in. It takes me a little bit to get into it. So it's if they're taking a whole week off from playing games or even not even practicing hard, the next week is going to be a struggle to get into it.
So since the Giants did that, because a lot of people, even in my office, are on the Giants, and I was also on the Giants, but there are a lot of people that think the Giants are going to beat the Vikings. Is this something where you take it and you're like, you know what? They rested their starters. Yeah. The Vikings have still been playing. They're playing for something. Are they going to outright win? Are they going to cover the spread?
I think that the Giants, I would love nothing more than the Giants to win this game. But the other part of it is that Daniel Jones and Saquon are young, and they're not even, they're usually on vacation at this point. So they're used to just, working for the Pro Bowl. So they might be in the prime position here, whereas the Vikings are always, most of them are playing at this time of the year. They expect to play at this time of the year. They might be exhausted. Daniel Jones and Saquon are going to come flying.
Really? And do you think that Kirk playing in prime time or 4 o'clock is going to
That's the
be a
main
big
reason
factor,
why I
of course.
don't think that they're going to win.
So
there's no way he plays well.
What
No.
out of all the games that are set up right now, do you know all the matchups
Yeah.
pretty much? Who is an underdog to win? Move on.
I mean,
Speaking of cap and defense,
So,
I might give it to the Ravens.
If we're talking about an underdog in this round, I would say, depending on who plays quarterback,
I think he convinced me that the Ravens can win this.
yeah,
You
even
know?
though it's highly unlikely.
Yeah, he said a lot of things that they have to do better, but he convinced me that they could win this game. I kind of convinced myself by saying they could win it during it, but I think they could win this game.
I might have to throw a bet on that.
I-
If I get paid out by the Packers bet, which I probably should have already, I might throw something on the Ravens or the under. That's looking like it's a highly probable thing.
and the thing with the 49ers, you got so many like
Young guys.
I did get paid.
Oh, congrats.
We're going to put down a bet.
Let's go.
All right. But continue. I'm looking.
No, I mean, it's Brock Purdy. I know he's been playing well, and I know they got Christian McCaffrey. I know they got... Do we know if Debo's playing? Debo's playing, right?
I don't know.
All right, we don't know. But if he doesn't play, I think Giants win this game. That's where I'm at. And I don't think the quarterback, Brock Purdy, will be ready. That's all I'm going to say.
All right.
That's all I can say.
But what other points you got there? I know you got a bunch.
Jamal Williams broke Barry Sanders' record and didn't make the Pro Bowl. That is a catastrophe on the NFL.
How about his little, what do they call it? The little intros before the game?
That was incredible.
He might be one of the most likable players in the
Good
league.
for him.
He said, anyone? Oh, what?
No, this is on you now.
He said,
"This is on you."
Hit Legend of the Den. That's all I remember. And it was really
You
funny.
gotta ask Carlo what he said.
Carlo would know that, yes. But also his post-game interview was pretty rad. So,
Yeah,
that
I
was a real switch up, I'll tell you what.
I feel really good for him.
Me too.
I'm a big fan of him. Had him on all my fantasy teams besides Sleeper because it's impossible to get him.
Yeah.
A few other talking points. Bill is coming back, so I'm just going to run through these ones because we don't really got to talk about them. Unless you want to.
I'll pick something we can
All
talk
right.
about.
Bill is back for year 24. Green Bay Packers assaulted a first responder this week. Coach Dan Pease is in his final season with the Falcons. He is leaving. Dan Pease. P-E-E-S. That's a good name. Football guy, possibly.
P-E-A-S.
Kenny scored his first Giants touchdown. Say it's been a long time coming. It's really hard to score a touchdown when you refuse to play, but that's neither here nor there. Cardinals fired Cliff Kingsbury. Now the Cardinals have not had a coach past 6 years. Lovie Smith was unjustly fired by the Texans.
Just talked about it, yep.
The Mets lost Correa to the Twins.
Talked about that.
And yeah, that's about... Oh, Cowboys play at home against the Jets next season. So you can look forward to that loss.
Yeah, and the Eagles play in Jersey at the Meadowlands. That will be fun.
I'll go in a Cowboys jersey.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
So let's touch on the first responder. So it was in the heat of the moment. He apologized. How about the guy going in? I think it was the cornerback. Just went up and just tried to screw up.
There were
that was
so
a very
many
strange
things.
game.
So
Yeah.
many things in that game made no sense.
How do you push a first responder, bro?
Dude, the guy is literally helping everyone out. He's giving waters out. He's literally doing everything. You ask him, he'll give it. And this guy walks up, clearly didn't get any water, got no Gatorade, and just shoved the shit out of him. Sorry. He shoved him.
Shoved him. Yes. And then there was a scene where Jameson Williams was asking for Rodgers' jersey, and he said, I think I'm going to keep this one. And then him and Randall Cobb were walking off the field together, doing some emotional little gestures. I'm telling you, he will be on Jeopardy next year. I will say it again.
I think he's leaving Green Bay.
To go to Jeopardy at 7 o'clock at night.
No, I think it's Jordan Love time, and he's going to... He could be a Raider. He could be a Jet.
You know what, bro? I hope he's not. Don't get me started.
I hope he's a Jet. I would love if he became a Jet.
I know you would.
I would be the biggest Rodgers fan if he became a Jet.
Oh
I actually might become a Jets fan. Scrap the Cowboys.
Oh man,
That's a lie.
That would,
but
we'd all go to jail.
I hope he comes.
Let's yeah. I mean, oh wow. Pause, bro. Pause.
Oh, Well,
Justin Fields conference, yeah, you get it. So that, and then there was another one that you said, Kenny Galladay.
Oh, finally.
Maybe you could post that clip. Yeah, don't. Oh wait, no, it's already posted. Don't draft Kenny Galladay. He's terrible. He needed 76 receptions to get his bonus.
Yeah. He scored a touchdown.
That was probably the most sour feeling for Giants fans, like who actually watched the game and see who scored. Like, dude, you gotta be pissed if you saw it. Are you kidding me? If you saw Kenny Galladay score a touchdown on the last freaking week of the regular season, I would have been pissed as a Jets fan. Oh my god, I'd be sick.
I mean, I just don't understand how he was like, it's been a long time coming. Like, bro, you sat out for like 5 weeks on your own. Like, well, how has it been a long time coming? Like, this is the first game that you've played the whole time.
That's a retirement candidate for sure.
Oh, absolutely. Yep. Well, I don't know after that. Been a long time coming.
Yeah, my God. What happened? He was so good on the Lions. He was solid.
I said,
what's going
hey. All right, what do you want to talk about?
I was going to touch on the Mets, but I don't know any stories that happened.
I just think it's funny he lost Correa.
It's all right.
There's nothing going on in baseball, I don't think.
Yeah.
Listen, some interstellar shit right now. NASA back in like the 70s sent up into space a thing, like one of those little spacecrafts with a bunch of stuff from I don't even know if it was only America or if it was the world or what, but into space, hoping that an alien would find it, and it just got out of our galaxy. Like, it's out there. Did you guys see did you see any of this? How is it that this stuff always comes across my desk and no one else sees it?
People don't care anymore.
Yeah,
I think they just accepted the fact.
But they put in some of the stupidest shit. They're like,
they sneak it in at the worst times.
And the Beatles actually denied them to put the stuff in there.
The Beatles?
Yeah, the record company at the time didn't want to release their stuff because they didn't want, they probably didn't want other Beatles out there in the universe. Also, I was thinking about it, how are aliens going to even understand the words?
They're already here, man. They don't need that fucking little care package.
It's true. The Anna Messi's out there. But we put whale noises in. We put hello in every language as if that will matter. They're gonna have their own language. Do you think that they're just speaking English over there or Spanish? Come on. No,
I want to meet one, bro.
I do too, but we're never gonna do it because they're gonna look at it and just hear boom, boom, boom. They're gonna hear just random ass noises and just be like, well, this is a piece of metal we could use.
And then just leave.
And they're just gonna smash it and leave.
We should all go to Area 51 and just record. Be like, hey, we're with the B Team Pod. Just wanted to see if we can get an interview on maybe some sports and talk with an alien.
Yeah, no, I'd be down.
All right,
I'd be down.
That works. We could do that.
Yeah, we can run there.
The 5K?
Yeah. Well, that'd be like how many Ks would that be?
A lot of Ks.
Oh yeah,
a lot of Ks. So, actually, you know what? I'm actually curious about this one. This is my last point. So, what's up with you and your, soccer process right now? What have you been doing? What's the next step?
Training.
Just training? Yeah. So, when are you going back now?
Unsure yet.
Unsure?
Yeah. I literally have no news. So.
Is it weird to, not be around the team and the guys and back out in Rochester?
Oh yeah, my boys that I live with. I mean, we talk all the time, but I always have memories pop up where it's ooh, that was funny. The time when we saran wrapped every doorway, so that when one of our roommates came home, he just got saran wrapped in the face. Saran wrapped in the face. It was 3 or 4 times he just got saran wrapped in the face. Every time he pulled it down, he thought it was done. No. We did the whole stairwell. And all the lights were off. You can't see shit in our apartment. It was just bam, 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 bam.
Was he a certain
bam,
position
bam.
or just a certain person? You were like, screw this kid. We're gonna
No. He was just the only one that wasn't home.
No.
It was a very unfortunate situation for him.
How was traveling for you? Was it a lot?
Traveling? Yeah. Traveling was good. It was also bad. I mean,
What'd you hate the most about it?
We flew into LA and then drove to San Diego, played a game, then drove to LA to play a game 2 days later, and then drove back to San Diego to fly home. Didn't make much sense to me, and it took a lot of time, but that's neither here nor there. Made it home. That made no sense.
What's a state that you have played at that you've never been to before? That just no.
I mean, Los Angeles, and I've never been to California. So Los Angeles and San Diego, Michigan. Where else? Oh, San Francisco was there. I'm not gonna lie, I don't like it out there.
It's
Okay,
weird, right?
elaborate.
I don't like it. Like, it's cool for a day or two, but the traffic is horrendous out there. Like, I don't understand how people are like, oh, you gotta go. Like, living in LA and San Diego is the best. Like, dude, you go out to go to McDonald's and it takes 50 minutes just to get there.
McDonald's, not In-N-Out?
Or whatever you want to eat out
So
there.
what?
But like, no matter where you go, unless it is next door, it is taking you over 20 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand it. Like, how is there that many people living out there? That just seems unhealthy. Seems really unhealthy. And then there's a haze, like, all day.
Mm-hmm.
Every morning you wake up out there, you're like, ah, damn, it's gonna be raining, isn't it? And then by 10 o'clock, the sun's out. There's no clouds in the sky. It doesn't make sense to me.
So what's one positive thing you can bring out of California?
It's warm.
It's warm. You heard it here first.
That's about it.
That's
Although
it.
San Francisco was kind of cold.
San Fran
And
was a
also,
little cold.
San Francisco's got to be super unsanitary.
Yeah.
All the houses are connected. Like, they're, you know?
Big homeless
Like,
problem.
there's not, yeah. I don't know. I don't like it out there. Like, the people that live out there love it, but, I mean, it's starting, are they the aliens?
Maybe. You see, but I feel like when you live out in Cali, it just takes a certain type of person to like it out there. I feel like you really just like, I don't know. I mean, I feel like Los Angeles has its like rushes, like, oh, we gotta go, we're on the go. But like, I feel like other parts is more just like, oh, what are we doing today? Let's go to the beach. Let's do
I
this.
didn't feel that, though.
You didn't feel that.
No. I just felt like everywhere I went, like, at some point, I was going to hit traffic. And also, I didn't like that everyone had, like, I don't know. Just everything about being out there just felt weird. Like, I felt like the air was grosser. I felt like it felt like I was in New York City on, like, Molly.
Interesting.
You know?
Sure. All right, last thing. What about Michigan? Is there any good things to say about Michigan?
Eminem's from there.
Huh?
Eminem's from there.
Eminem's from Michigan. You heard it here first.
Michigan, all right, the times that I went, it was just like cold, and I wasn't there very long, and we drove there, so it wasn't like I was ecstatic getting out of the car, like, yes, we're in Michigan. I was like I just want to go to bed. You know, like, it wasn't like I was getting there and I was excited to be getting out of the van, like, and be at a soccer field. Like, I wanted to be in my bed.
You see, the thing is, though, like, with traveling, like, I feel like people, like, oh, my God, like, you travel so much. That's so great. But, like, when you're actually traveling so much, dude, it sucks.
Yeah,
sucks, dude.
The only time it's nice is if you are traveling to a place where you're going to play golf, watch a game, or you're at a beach.
Yeah.
That's the only times it's nice, I feel like. Or skiing and snowboarding.
Yes.
I'll add in.
But, like, just, like, traveling for, obviously, but you're playing soccer, like, it's different. But, like, just, people don't realize what actually goes into traveling.
Yeah. It's exhausting.
Hotels, freaking boarding planes, gates, layovers, like, just traffic, like you said, dude. It's a lot, man. I can only imagine, like, how much you travel within those months. It's probably a crap load. You're going on plane after plane every day, probably right after the game, and you're just like dog tired.
Dude, it's exhausting. You get home and you're just like, I want to go to bed. And you could sleep the whole way home on the plane, but when you get home, you want to go to bed.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
You see, for me, I can't sleep on planes. It's like impossible.
Yeah.
It's so uncomfortable.
I do 20-minute naps. Can't do anything more.
Dude, you know what I do? I take the little tray down and I just fucking...
Yeah, exactly.
I just rest like that because...
It's like being in middle school.
Oh my God.
But your
it's
head
like
on the
heads up,
desk.
7-up type shit. But you know what, though? Like, when I get an aisle seat, still same thing. My legs are, like, out here, and I'm, like, twisted up.
Uh-huh.
But there's one thing I do want to do more. It is, even though I just shit on traveling, I do want to go around. Like, I would like to go to Chicago. I would like to go to Boston. I would like to go to, like, a place and just spend a weekend there and just, like, explore.
Dude, there's going to be a lot of people from other countries coming to the World Cup that are going to be pissed when they realize that Boston is like an hour from Foxborough. Because they're listing Foxborough. Foxborough is a place where we're going to play soccer games for that World Cup, I believe.
Which is going to be hosted in 26?
Yeah.
That's dope.
But they're advertising it as Boston. So all of these people from other countries are going to fly over. They're going to be in Boston. And that Uber is going to be so goddamn expensive.
Yeah,
they're going to be so pissed.
They're going to screw them up. They're doing that on purpose, by the way.
Absolutely.
But damn, I wish the World Cup was next year. But we're probably over the time limit.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
So this was a Ramble Fest.
Yeah,
so playoffs. All right, we want to touch on the playoffs one last time. Any games that you are certain that they're going to win?
All right, ready?
Yeah.
Just say who you think's going to win on the count of 3. So Ravens, Bengals. 1, 2, 3. Ravens. Yes.
I'm already putting the bet down on that.
All right. What's another
Jags,
one?
Chargers.
Jags and Chargers. 3, 2, 1.
Chargers.
Oh my God.
And I love you, Jags. I love it. And next year you'll be back. I'm not worried.
Who are the Bills playing?
Dolphins.
Bills, Dolphins. 3, 2, 1.
Bills.
3 for
Easily.
3. All right. 49ers and Giants?
No. 49ers and not the Bucks.
Seahawks.
Seahawks. Oh yeah.
3, 2, 1.
Niners.
Seahawks.
Easy Niners.
All right.
Cowboys and Bucks.
3, 2, 1.
Cowboys. Buccaneers, baby.
Yes. All right.
Giants and Vikings.
3, 2, 1.
Giants.
Woo!
Oh, 4 for 5 there?
Yeah.
1,
6.
2, 3,
4 for 6.
4 for 6. All
That
right.
was good.
So we're getting somewhere. That's positive.
That was
Also,
good.
our records were pretty good for the Mortals. I think we all went positive. So
Yep. 12 and 6.
thanks for following. We'll keep it going. I mean, we're keeping it going through playoffs. Expect more people that are to be interviewed. And so catch us next week. Look out for the Mortals post. Like us, share us, check out the interview, and we'll end it from here. Good job, guys.